And hello, and hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, darlings, to a special episode of New Beginnings Tarot. We have Rocco and Nadia. Rocco's backstage, and we'll wait for Nadia, but I wanted to welcome you. Happy Wednesday. As far as we were told, it's April 19th. And it's a busy day, and I will go through this as well as we can, as well as we could be prepared for it. Okay, so with that being said, welcome. Today's episode, we are going to have a lively discussion about the origins of certain places and objects around the world. Some will be familiar to you and some may not be. It depends on what we get to today, and that's okay. All right, so in about 20 minutes, I have to pause, go off camera, order an Uber. Miss Israel has a doctor appointment today that's very, very important because we believe that she's going to need surgery on her adenoids. So, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring Rocco and Nadia in here. You guys love on them. You know their family. If you're new here, you'll get to know them. All right? So we're just going to wing it. We always let spirit take it. That's it. All right? All right. Here we go. Hello and hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Can you all hear me?
Well, yes. High five. Good.
Okay.
Love the voice, Jay.
Do you speak? Yes, Nadia.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome, everyone in the chat room. Like I said, I've already done the introduction of what we're going to do today, and I'm going to hand it over, and I'm going to let Nadia and Rocco, if they so choose to, add a little bit of their sense of what our subject is today, if you'd like. So, ladies and Jiz is first. Nadia, if you'd like to add your 2 cents.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, being that I love being on the live chat, first of all, I do have to throw in a joke. And being that it's the end of
Here we go.
Ramadan this weekend, why? Oh, my God. My brain just stopped working.
It just went flat. I felt it.
What?
All right. Maybe it wasn't meant to say. All right. First of all, I'm enjoying what we're going to be talking about, because I would love to bring enlightenment to asking questions, to questioning everything. And that will help change many people's mindsets from a 3D to a 5D point of view. So it doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. It just matters how we can continue to keep questioning and seeing what resonates with us, because that's when you're going to find the truth, is when what resonates with you feels true. All right. Going to have to save on the joke because my brain just went blank. It was
That's
really
okay. It'll pop up sometime later in the show.
And did you show your shirt, Jen, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Both of these matter. Rocco. Yeah.
I wore my best hoodie.
That's all right. That's all right. Yours matter too, Rocco.
They're MBOFA.
That's all right. Rocco, do you want to add anything to that?
This is a subject that I think a lot of us started on. Even as children, fascination with, say, the pyramids or different structures in the world. I have a little bit of a different perspective that, well, you don't really kind of hear. And I can share that now and we can move into it later, but I would like to see what the cards say on it also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So I've got pictures that I'm going to share with everybody. I think the number one that a lot of people have questions on are the pyramids of Giza. Just because if you were raised in any religious structure, we were taught that the Israelites built them under Egyptian rule. But as we've grown wiser, so to speak, as we've grown and realizing that it's not everything that we've been taught, not everything we've been told, now we're starting to question. We're starting to become familiar with our off-worlder families, our galactic families, that maybe we should question, were they human built? Did they have help by the off-worlders? Or was it a combination of both? If that's okay with you guys, we'll start with the pyramids.
Love it.
That's fine.
All right. So let's do this because I am still playing around with this. All right. I am going to go in here and look. Watch me screw this up live because, our talents only go so far.
Do you want me to hand draw a pyramid for you guys?
Hey, you know what? That would be awesome. All right. Let's try this again.
I think I submitted a fine example to Jen as far as the pyramids and where we are today. She doesn't have to show it, but it was just a great connection.
Yeah, Rocco, actually, that's the lack of logic behind things. It's brilliant. All right, let's try this again.
So while you're showing these pictures, we're really believing that the pyramids are really in Egypt, right? Because you got a lot of truthers. It's probably in, I don't know,
the modern day Egypt that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is what we're questioning right now. So if you guys can see that,
Yes.
we're going to ask Tarot, were these man-made? Were they off-worlders? Were they both? Because, I would like to know. And remember, I always warn people, tarot can be inaccurate. And if tarot at the end of the day and spirit says, you don't need to know that, we'll also go with that too. Because there are some things that maybe it's not necessary that we know it, but you can't just stop the questioning of the human mind. We want to know. We're just curious. Are we obsessed with the 3D? No, at least I would hope that we're not. But I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning and asking.
I have something to say on that.
Go ahead.
Here's kind of my perspective on some of these places, like the pyramids. It may not happen to be the pyramids, however. But what if these are remnants left over, one from another time, but what if they are actually, when we talk about portals and portals open, what if that was left over and the portal closed and this remained? Okay, in other words, like we were given this opening to a particular location. These pyramids were there, and when the portal closed, the pyramids remained because they're kind of side by side with us in the same universe but different. So what if that portal closed past these pyramids and this remained? That's where I come to a different angle as far as, are they of this world, right, or are they of this world now?
Well, if I can interject on that, they say there's about 1,000 pyramids, and I think there's about 256 or some left.
Yeah. I think there's like 10,000 in Mexico. That's the last number I saw. 10,000. 10,000 pyramids.
Wow. And we know that there's some on the moon and on other planets. So the portal doesn't sound like a bad thing, but I'm thinking, what if it's energy that keeps everything balanced here?
True. Also, but like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be the pyramid. Just it could be anything. It could be Rome, the cathedral. I mean, did we actually make these, or did we discover them? Did we fix them up?
I
and
think you're
reuse them.
on. I think you're on to something, Jay, because um, I'm gonna show you the cards because I asked man-made or off-worlder made, and they said it's both.
Mhm.
It's both.
So when you say man-made, Jen, would you say that's Anunnaki or is that an off-worlder also?
Anunnaki at the beginning. I
Is
think
man?
Rocco. I think Rocco is on point that we discovered them. I don't think that the humans that we know now or what we were told were not participating in that. This is the original
Exactly.
Anunnaki. That's what I'm getting. It's
Yeah.
funny that you said that, Nadia, because the first card I pulled was the Justice card,
Mm-hmm.
and that is about having balance. This is to balance yourself out. This is finding balance within humanity. It was going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of major arcana cards in this because the Wheel of Fortune comes up. This is going to change your thought process. Once you start to discover actually the originality of where these came, it's totally going to flip your world upside down.
And
Because
I think balance goes to what Nadia said about the connection. These are all here to create balance. That kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying.
exactly. And the past card is about humanitarian efforts. They were built for humanity. They were built for us. They have a purpose. They don't just sit there and collect like Egyptian sand. They have a purpose. They are there for humanity. And right underneath that is the collective firm foundation card. They were to help us. The problem is that was stolen from us. The truth was stolen from us. They bring gifts. The Ten of Pentacles is about gifts and completion. They are supposed to help us. That that is why they're there. Giving, reconciliation, okay? This is working with other humans. This is another humanitarian card to bring you complete victory. So, we look at them as a symbol of slavery or uh, forgive me if I'm not finding the right words, and a way to hold us down. They're
Bondage.
pretty to look at, but they're just represented by slavery and to keep humanity down. They were actually built based on terror. They were actually to build us up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, confirmation that I pulled is when the truth comes out, you're going to move out of that thought process. That's the Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters. Remove what you've been told, because that's a sword. Remove what you've been told and realize that these are there to help you. They have hidden gifts. Now, Four of Pentacles, people will hold on to the original thought process of what they thought.
Mm.
They will hold on for dear life. There's no way that it's there for good purposes. Here's your final card on that. That's the Two of Pentacles. This is about finding justice and balancing timing and what people are manifesting in the physical. So basically, everything we've been taught and told is totally wrong.
So
These things are there to help us.
I have two questions on that.
Sure.
One, is it dormant right now until more people wake up?
Okay.
Or are there underground passages to connect to the other pyramids?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know if humanity as a whole are going to figure this out, or if it's just that remnant of a few, like the collective. Are they the only ones that are going to ever be able to see this? Are the sheep ever going to be able to see it, so to speak?
Because I believe that it may get activated when the collective of a whole reaches a certain frequency.
Right. Well, while I'm shuffling, it's to my understanding that the capstones of the pyramids are actually movable.
Yeah.
That whether they're a ship or once they're
dialing
moved out
into
of
a
the way,
frequency, or
a
even
higher
dialing
frequency.
into a frequency.
supposed to be about healing that you're connected to. That's what I've been learning.
Because a very long time ago, I felt that the Anunnakis actually raised those stones by frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the activation of a certain amount of frequency would activate the entire pyramid.
Well, it's to
plus
my
the
understanding that anti-gravity is about frequency and energy. That's what it's based on.
I would agree on that. I would agree on that for sure.
Mhm.
All right. So
While you're
let's
pulling
see.
that, can I add something?
Sure, go ahead.
Just like the Christianity is about death. This is why I always doubt the pyramid story, because they say that they're burial tombs. Again, the death story, the celebration of death. I mean, I understand it, but it almost seems like it's their go-to when they can't explain something. Oh, hey, look, it was a wonderful pyramid to this particular deity, and yet there's nothing within the Great Pyramids pertaining to that deity.
Yeah, but the Egyptians also didn't. They also believed in life after death.
They did.
So,
They did.
Aren't there like lights able to come in at certain points in
With
the pyramid?
Within the pyramid, as we know it, there's two in the Great Pyramid. There's two, and I think they discovered a third one that they're still working on. But they're points, but they're blocked by a succession of stone, and they are pointing to particular celestial or stars in the universe. Agreed.
Yeah.
But again, if let's say they were part of a different dimension or a different timeline that's going side by side with us, are we still in line, or are we just making it fit? Or where's it just, like you said, light or a breathing hole? I mean, the other thing I go to is this was something very complicated, and they built it with ease in our eyes. Well, they want to complicate it. We don't know how it was built. They built it with ease because it was easy. They didn't build it because it was hard.
Right.
And if you look at what they were living in during this supposed time, they built a structure for someone's body to sit in, but yet you're living in mud, trying to make mud and sand into a wall, and using sticks and stones, little stones, not massive stones. Again, it just does not fit a grand society.
Yeah. And as far as we understand, under the rules and stories of Christianity, they're saying that these were built within the 400 years that the Israelites were enslaved. You mean man made those pyramids? There's 6 altogether, the 3 major ones and then 3 smaller ones. You're saying 400 years seems like a long time, but I'm sorry, that kind of a massive structure just for mankind, as massive as those stones are, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. The timeline just doesn't fit to me.
And on top of that, all the other locations within Egypt that are massive, that are if, like you're saying, if they just concentrate on the pyramids, it's not possible. Look at all the other stuff that's there.
Yeah.
Look at all the other different locations that they have. And not only that, they're miles, in some cases, hundreds of miles apart, and yet they only had camels.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey,
well,
I'm going to run down to the other location.
Yeah, well, if the Israelites were just centrally controlled, because as far as what we've been told, there was like 2 million. Well, were they centrally located under slavery just around that area, or were they scattered?
Well, some had to cut. I mean, this is the way the archaeologists believe. Some were there to cut, but can you imagine? They said they put them under logs to pull them. That timeline would be totally off.
Yeah.
Well, let's just take this. Okay, they're slaves, right? Whether through conquering or everything.
Right.
Yet they somehow became a superiorly skilled craftsman in cutting stone.
Right.
Poof. Oh.
Wait.
Oh, wait. You want me to cut stone? Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a learning curve. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if they're slaves, who taught them how to do it?
That's what I'm getting at.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Zero.
With a laser.
Laser.
Now you're thinking outside the box.
Laser.
All right. So Nadia, you asked the question, will we gather this knowledge? Basically, will it come to enlightenment? Like, who's going to find out the real truth about it? Yeah, it's the magician card. He's not a trickster in this. It means whoever is ascending to that level will understand it. Because we've been waiting and we've put the work in. Now we're waiting. Here's the pass card. Here's your hangman. You've been in limbo for a while, but those of you that are being enlightened are going to see it, because that's part of your contract.
Oh.
That's the lover's card. There's my jizz card. That's part of your contract. If you agreed to hear, like, if you're a starseed or your purpose is to enlighten people, you'll be the one to see it. Will mankind see it? I don't believe so. Will we? Yes, because the Ace of Pentacles. You've been given a gift and you're going to run with it.
Okay.
So even when people are laughing at you, telling you you're crazy, don't worry about it. You just let that slide off your back.
So 3Ders will just see it as pyramids.
The pyramid. Done. Yeah. The King of Cups. Dennis comes in here. They have already set boundaries, but we also have to set boundaries that we're not going to let them convince us that we're wrong. So you block out that negativity and that kind of energy.
Okay.
Because this is the worker bee. We've been working way too long to be trying to be proven wrong now.
Okay.
We're manifesting this truth. So basically, we had a contract to become enlightened, and you can call us spiritual leaders or whatever you want to call it. You can label us anything you want to. But those of us that have been contracted to do it and accept it will be the ones to ascend. Everybody else will just pyramids.
Can I say something on that?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, let's just take, for instance, the architecture behind this. Okay. Let's fast forward, to the Renaissance period. And let's fast forward to, say, right around 1600. In arguably, in that sense, in the 1600s, they finally started to develop a school for architecture. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I'm fascinated by this. I was writing notes down. I had to go back and check a few things. And that particular school only lasted 100 years. But just like all these other monuments, these guys were soldiers. This one was here. He was a priest. Now they're architects out of nowhere.
Right.
Again, this brings.
Are we talking like Da Vinci time period?
Yeah. I mean, just look at it. Even with the churches moving forward, just take the pyramids right there and go, hey, who knows how to build big things?
Yeah.
And with not only with precision, with perfection. True. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. This just all of a sudden happened, and I'm sorry, I have a hard time handling that in that aspect of humans, because if you look at the pyramids and anything moving forward into history, great buildings, great this, right now we're like little infants crawling. We build things with sticks and plastics and glue and little screws.
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape. Thank you. This is a de-evolution in my aspect. That's why I can never buy the story of this being human only made.
Well, I mean, just thinking of this, you're just thinking of Giza, but
right.
all around the world at the same time, it's being built.
Exactly.
Well,
just like the rise of shaman.
Like the picture that Rocco sent to us earlier in a personal message, they can't even build it right.
Mm-hmm.
With the materials that we have.
It shows you the holes where to drill, and they won't drill inside the holes.
Drill here, screw here. What? It doesn't make, and we want to figure out that we knew how to build great big pyramids back in the day. Come on.
That's thanks to Common Core. It doesn't have to be right. It's the way you get to it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay. Another question I would have is, are the Giza pyramids aligned like Orion's belt? Was it Orion that helped it?
Good question. And on that note, I will say this. We have come out of the matrix thought process of looking up to the sky and seeing constellations and seeing where, if you haven't noticed recently, everything seems to be in the wrong place, or it seems that way. Nothing lines up the way we thought it was. It was actually aligned all the way around. What you're seeing is beyond that matrix, that fake thing that they wanted you to think. Now that it's really like, we look up at the sky, and if I see the constellations and I'm like, you're supposed to be over there. Now we question everything. Like, am I going crazy? Well, that's a given. But you automatically know something's not right, because I've talked to you, Nadia, about this. I start to see now, even in my third D, I see a grid pattern and I see all these codes, and it's falling apart. If you see something out of place, whether it's a plane being stuck in midair, or if you look up in the sky and for some reason there's a tree in the middle of the clouds, the matrix is breaking apart. So the AI thought process of what you thought was real in the position of constellations wasn't really real all along.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see a show of hands, maybe, if anybody noticed that the sun and the moon are 90 degrees instead of 180 degrees now.
I would say they're totally different. Even their orientation is different from 6 months ago.
Not even that.
When I first moved into my house roughly 3 years ago, it has changed several times alone.
Not only that, but if you look at Luna, the moon, there are some nights she's not even in the sky.
She wasn't out yesterday, not at all.
And if
but
you look
at the sun, in the morning.
Right. If you look at the sun, why are some days there's 2 or 3 of them? Does it make any sense? Because when I was a little kid, I didn't see that. It didn't make any sense to me. Now all of a sudden we see it and you think you're going crazy. People look at you, you're going crazy.
And it's been documented in a few texts, Chinese, Indian, and I want to say there's one more, but around 320 AD, the moon wasn't there for decades. And then we also have stories of the past of 2 moons. So again, they didn't write these down for a joke. They didn't write these down to think, oh, where do they look at this in about 1,600 years? They're going to get a kick
exactly. And then everything that was written that was really important has been removed from us. I mean, mankind at some point decided, hide that. Catholic Church is the worst about this.
Sorry.
Very much so. During Constantine, and all of a sudden they felt.
Bless you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Bless you, Jay.
I need it.
That absolutely, you can't tell them that. Don't tell them that. Then we lose all credibility. They have to believe what we say. I just miss Harley. All right.
But the controllers for sure, and when we look at to the victors go the spoil, but that brings up, like you were saying, Jen, what was all hidden. It has. There's so much hidden. We're talking openly about a pyramid. We're talking about, and even to this day, we don't know how they were built. Well, if you've looked at any of the Egyptian scrolls, any of the things that they wrote on walls, they documented everything. They documented grocery lists. They documented different things. They just forgot the plans on these buildings. I don't buy it. I don't
think that they really planned on media. Like, people will be able to online. You can go and look up these things. Like, if it comes to hieroglyphics on the wall, did they ever think back in the day somebody's going to be just click a button and get the truth? And I use that term loosely.
That was good though. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just okay. So asking Nadia's question, if the pyramids are aligned with like constellations, like Orion or something like that, absolutely. But the correct ones, the 10 of Cups is like, yep, absolutely, the right ones. This is us being sick and tired of being lied to. This is just beat down, tired. I'm sick of it. Yeah, the past card, but we have the passion and desire to push through the BS, basically. This is just us moving forward with the determination going, I'm going to get to the truth. That's what we're doing. So the very, very current situation is the Four of Swords. All the hidden secrets and truth are coming out.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only coming out to us. Does that make sense?
Whoever's ready. Who's ever ready.
Who's ever ready.
With that. Just like this frequency that we've gone through this portal. And we had to be at a certain point for that portal to be there, for us to go through it.
Exactly. The Empress is about knowing your independence. And I know that we kind of use the term sovereignty loosely, but being one, like with the Creator, and knowing that you have abundance in your spirituality, these are the people that it's going to be revealed to. Now, it comes with a warning with advice, though, is to, once you come to the realization of the truth, it warns you, don't let it upset you. Because the real truth, remember, swords are about truth. The real truth is going to bring heartache and disappointment. Because at the end of the day, you're going to go, you rat bastards. Do not stay in that PD.
Too late.
Yeah, like, whoops. They lied to us. No, this is my Abba card. This is my Creator card, the Hermit. Be wise. That's the advice. Use your wisdom. Go inside. Connect with your Creator. And that's who makes that person right there. Is that you have abundance in spirituality if you just connect to the right source. Not mainstream media and all the BS, if that makes sense. But as far as being connected with the constellations and what's out there, they are correctly aligned to where they need to be. It's just changing. Now the truth is being revealed to us. Yep.
Yeah.
I see
That was a good read, though. That was a good read. Hi, Lee.
Hey, Lee.
Your base card on that is the Strength card. You're stronger than what you think. You can handle this. Just have faith and don't allow yourself to get so caught up in the 3D that you don't stay focused on the bigger picture. It's not about what happens here and now in this timeline. It's about your connection to your Creator and knowing who you are.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, like you said, it's going to turn people's worlds upside down. Okay, yes. Because they find out. And you say the ascended, the ones that are ascending will understand. Mm-hmm. But for us ascending, is it because we're ascending or is it because we're remembering?
Good question.
Wow.
I like the way you worded that.
Could you maybe see what the cards have to say about that?
Yep, absolutely.
Like the reveal, the lifting of the veil. I don't think that's going to happen for everybody.
Okay, so here's my question. Jen, you pulled that card, but it's not for the cards, the question. Okay. Just playing with the brains. If we're ascending, does it matter? Are we still going to have the pyramids in another 5D realm? Or is it just, I knew it, boom, I'm out, I'm ascended?
I think they just may become sharper. I don't think that it would be such a hazy 3-dimensional image or a location. They may or may not. At the end of the day, who cares?
Well, I mean, isn't it a little too late? We're ascending and now we get all the truth? Or what is it, just a peace of mind before we ascend?
Yeah, but if they weren't already there, what will we have to question?
If they is 3D?
Yeah, in the 3D, if they weren't already there, there's a reason that we're in the 3D questioning these objects and locations now. Okay. Are they just being used as tools to get us to go, you know what I'm saying? If they're there in the ascended late, okay, fine. We'll figure that when we get there. But they're here now, and it makes you question, are they just there in the 3D to get us to ask questions?
Agreed. I like that.
Okay, I like that answer. That's nice.
All All right, Rocco. As I shuffle, how specific do you want this? As
Well,
far as
I don't know how you want to word it, but it's kind of like, okay, the ascended, we're going to kind of realize what it is
right,
for what it is.
right.
So my question was it, we'll get there because we'll have a knowing, it'll be kind of gifted to us through a,
Or are we
through under,
remembering that
or we
that's we remember
remembering.
we knew it. It was just buried all along.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Not like a past life thing. It's just a remembrance and more along the lines of lifting of the veil of knowledge.
It's kind of activating our true DNA.
Right. Because if I'm in 5D, I'm going looking around. I mean, I want to figure out everything. I want to see everything. I want to see the four pillars holding up the world. You know what I mean? If they let me, I mean, I want to see shit.
Okay, so we're remembering.
Okay.
Wow.
We've
Nice.
seen it. We've seen it already.
That makes
These two
sense.
cards came up in one of the first ones that we did. This is about humanitarian and the community, those that are ascended. This is working together and remembering that we already knew this. Because in the past, here's your Wheel of Fortune again. You already knew this a long time ago. Your thought process was changed. That's how I know it's a memory and not something new. Because in the past, your thought process was changed. Now we're reversing it again. We're going back and remembering.
Well, I think we are remembering because how many of us as young children couldn't fathom why they told us it was actually built? I
Right.
mean, in our brains, we already knew that's not true.
Yeah.
So going up and opening up those hidden
Well, and it also brings
programming.
up those of us that were not exactly the exemplary student growing up because you just sat there and went, whatever, because I'm not buying it.
Mm.
I wouldn't pay attention to it. It didn't make sense to me.
I actually
Just
remember
just
the little
studying the
Viewmaster
solar
things.
system, I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
the
You
Viewmaster.
remember? Yeah. Now remember the
Oh,
little
the
Viewmaster
Viewmaster?
things? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the pyramids in that. It's this big.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
this big. As a child, for a child's mind, it's like, oh, it's a pyramid. No, it's gigantic. It's teeny. It's in my little Viewmaster. Again, another double-edged sword as far as deception goes.
Well, and it's a matter of, well, that's just a picture. Never been there, never seen it. Do I? Because I do that now. If I haven't been there and I haven't laid eyes on it, I don't believe. Maybe it doesn't
Mhm.
even exist. I don't know. But on that question about remembering, this is the current situation. This is us now, feeling it a great loss and like, wow, our whole life has been a damn lie.
Why did it
But
take
we
so long?
can't stay in that. We have to remember what's waiting behind us. We can't stay in the 3D. You can't stay in that mindset that, yeah, you were lied to, but now the truth is coming back to you. You're remembering what it's really like. This one is a warning. The Nine of Cups is about setting boundaries and go tread very lightly about what you hear, what you see. Use your discernment because this is about keeping your emotions in check. Be careful because some of the stuff that we're going to find out or are finding out is extremely upsetting. So guard your emotions in the 3D.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, John, because one of the things is in finding truth is not to be angry about it, but to be joyous that you finally got the aha moment.
Right.
Because going down to anger, to fear is bringing your frequency down, then you're not able to manifest and see the reality that you really want to see.
You're right. And the advice cards match that. Advice do not let it bring conflict.
Well,
Do not let your emotions run away with it. And then the other one is this always keeps you on your guard with the moon card is now you're always going to second guess the illusion and confusion. Don't let
okay,
it confuse you. At some point you have to accept.
I have something on that. That
Sure.
last card kind of confirmed I got a little connection there.
Okay.
The warning. Well,
Hmm.
okay, understand, stand your truth, do not fear. But almost isn't that like saying that that's the approach of two realities?
Yep.
There was two people on that card, but yet we're gonna be in two realities at the same time.
Yeah.
We're the ones that are seeing things, or those that are blessed enough to see or graced enough to see, however you want to look at,
Yes.
vibrating high enough, and
Mhm.
then and they won't see it. So, or is this kind of like we're going? What do you mean it's right there? How can we
Yeah.
not see
Well,
it?
that brings up this
So
piece
that
of advice.
okay,
Don't start fighting with people just because you see it and they can't. They may
okay.
never see it
So that's the
because then
warning. The warning's actually
they're still under the illusion, and it's
not
not
our
your
burden.
job to fix them.
Not our burden.
Mhm.
Okay.
So when they start arguing back and forth, just don't go, okay, and you give them love and light and you just walk away
Hmm.
Well,
because
I
you're gonna
usually,
you're gonna wear yourself out.
yeah, and I usually say everybody's in their own circle of truth. So whether you're in a bigger, broader picture
Yeah.
of truth, but there's some that are still in a smaller 3D circle of truth.
Yeah.
So you cannot convince them. You could put a seed there
Yep.
and let them figure it out.
Right.
But arguments just tend to get your frequency down.
I like the base card on that because it's judgment. If you're called to understand, you will take the time to go and look.
Hmm.
If someone says, hey, look here, it once you sow that seed, they choose to whether they want to water it or not. If it doesn't take root, it's not your problem. But it's a 3D ego that we want to pound it over their head. No, you've got to see this because we have this savior mentality. Let me save everyone. That's not your job.
Uh, can I add something to that too?
Sure.
This was something. I've been down this rabbit hole before, but prior to the show, I wanted to kind of get the dates on this and remember this. But basically, okay, we understand the camera. Okay, there was an early form of the camera that Socrates even mentions. I believe it was trying to find it was an Arab. Was it a Arab scholar? Al Al Kindi, I believe. Well, basically, they kind of developed this. They called it a not a photographic camera, but it was like they showed the image in the box and they made the reflection, and
Mm-hmm.
then they would make the reflection up so that they could draw
Yeah.
on paper.
I think
That's actually 300 and I want to say it was 320 AD that was around. Now it wasn't taking a picture,
Mm-hmm.
but you could put this image on the wall and you could draw it on papyrus, parchment, whatever you want.
I wonder if that's how they actually created the portraits. Do you really think kings and queens sat for 16 hours a day posing for
Exact.
a portrait?
Well, that's just it. I mean, but if you go and you read, like I said, this was me going back on this, and for instance, the earliest cameras were in the 1600s. At least
Wow.
that's documented. But over the next 2 centuries, there were similar things as far as no one kind of had it all down. Like this one had it, this one tried it, this they didn't really have it all down.
Wasn't it till the late 1800s that it was actually being
Yeah, it was
used
like it could be as early as
with the
1829 and
flash sulfur
1860. Yeah,
thing? And yeah.
right, right. I mean, they had photos of the Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, when you talk about cameras, that was in essence almost production. What I'm talking about is they had this invention and no one could duplicate it. And then when they were dying, they kind of gave over their little secrets and someone tried to, they had something.
Yeah.
And I think it was whether it went onto paper or whether it etched itself on glass, I don't know. But
Right.
there are these things out there. And that was like me. Okay, so if you had something that you could look through and draw that an adult could do or a child could do and draw like, okay, this little thing's sitting here I'm going to draw the pyramids today
Yeah.
because it's reflecting and you're doing it on parchment.
Right.
That's kind of unique, but yet you don't find much of it. We see drawings, and we think they're just drawings,
Yeah.
but they're really very much to scale. So those could have been made with that little. I can't think of the name. Hold on, let me see if I can
Yeah.
find the name of this camera. Obscura. Camera obscura is what they called that little box with the mirrors.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Shannon
what they
said
refer to.
something in the chat room. Da Vinci could draw and write mirrored things.
You're right, right. And
And
like
that would be the same time frame.
this was actually earlier. I mean, this
Oh,
goes
okay.
back.
Yes, sir.
That camera obscura goes back to roughly 320 BC. Now, granted,
Wow.
that's just drawing. Mirror writing, scribing's a little bit different. I mean, it was kind of common for alchemists to hide their work and their inventions, and there's even some scribes that don't know what the codes mean. Like,
Right.
Well,
you know,
Da Vinci is actually one who could go up to a higher dimension and get those remembering things.
Yes.
So he could have went back and got that mirror
Yeah.
patent.
mm,
Before we go on, if people are interested in more history on Giza or pyramids, Graham Hancock is really good if anybody's interested, and also Freddie Silva. Freddie Silva is doing some amazing studies, just not just on the pyramids, but connection all the way to Scotland.
mm.
Wow.
I'm kind of. You sent me the Boston or the Bosnian pyramids. I'm
Yeah.
Yes,
very fascinated with those,
Yeah.
yes.
and that they are getting absolutely no help, and you have to wonder why.
Yeah.
They are getting no help. They are not getting the pyramids in Mexico cleared off. They are not. I mean,
Actually,
there
the
is.
Mexican pyramid is deteriorating, and they're not. They're letting it fall.
Well, but that's what I'm getting at. I mean, this is something that we could control.
Well, if the
Okay,
pyramids are there to benefit humanity, of course they're going to let them fall.
right, but that's what I'm saying. This is so sacred. This is so something. This is like history, and we're just going. "Phew,
Yeah.
no, it's not worth it. Come on,
Well,
it's hard to fathom. It is, but
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
not
if they
really
had
hard
something on TV, who wouldn't send $10 to it? I'll send $10 to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
You
not
know,
really hard to fathom because if I want to control the entire world, I'm not going to keep the pyramids up to balance.
Oh no. Well,
agreed.
that's the whole point. We don't want. We're not. They're not here to benefit humanity.
Right,
They're
and just
here
look at all the
to
old structures they've torn down over the centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, even as early as 1800s. Oh, we got to tear that building. Even like the rise of the asylums in the 1800s. All
I
of a
watched
sudden,
that video, Rocco. Let me tell you,
asylums.
makes
Yeah.
you wonder. Everybody was
Yes.
just insane.
You might
All of a
want to
sudden,
put
they
that
just all
link
went
on
crazy.
there, Jen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a good. But I mean, and eh, not only that, I mean, and think about it. I mean, there's a couple ways to go with that. Well, the rich people could say, "Oh, he's insane," and they just tear up. They divide his property because he's nuts. He's insane. They didn't need much to say, "Oh, he's sick." Couple dollars, couple pieces of gold here. He's oh yeah, he's definitely mental. But again, but yet you could only do so much with that. But again, some of these insane asylums, they're massive. What we see is a penitentiary today that say holds 2,000 inmates. Back then, these insane asylums were three, four, five times as large, and they only held 200 people, or
Right.
so they say. But again, you have to wonder. Okay, this isn't society. This was just like the rise of certain architecture, the rise of shamans, the rise of it just happened all of a sudden. And everyone, not just us. I'm sorry they can't get word that quick overseas and even if you're in America, but all the way down as far as even and the architecture looks nothing like what
Oh,
that
that's
country developed. That's the other thing.
Right.
Again, portals within a portals within a portals, fill them. I don't know. Excuse me.
Hopefully this will work. I don't know if it will or not. If I typed it wrong, then I'll put it in next show. But
But I didn't want to get off Egypt. I
no, it's
apologize.
fine.
And also, isn't it amazing that most of these pyramids are in like the poorest parts of the countries where
Yeah, was what we consider third world countries to this day. Yeah,
yeah.
that's sad. All
But
right,
doesn't it
so are
make you
you
wonder
guys
what they built over?
do
What?
I
what?
mean, I look at I look at countries like France, uh, England, and in some cases the United States. They would just build over homes and populations. You've heard of the undergrounds. Oh, there's a city buried underground. Well, that was for sewage, was it? What
Sure,
else did they bury?
sure.
What else did they bury?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you have to. You can't take. Oh, yeah. We're going to war because everything's good over there. We're just helping them. It's no different. It's just another story, different narrative, but it's the same thing. I mean,
Right.
if it wasn't for the sand uncovering the pyramids,
Right.
where would we be? It would
Exactly.
still be under the sand.
Yep. Well, anything that we see now, they're going to come up with a story and a narrative. We just have to use our discernment and trust our creator. So, all right. Are you guys satisfied with the Giza pyramids? We'll move on to the next one. And y'all decide which one you want to do. Nadia, you sent me some. Is there one that you want to focus on next?
Well, I mean, it's okay. Do you want to continue with that part of the world, or do we want to go to something else?
We're just. I'm not worried about just certain areas of the world. We'll go anywhere you want. Because this is not going to just be a one show. I know that there's so many. We'll just do it.
I'm coming to my home state, Chicago.
Okay.
There's two. I would love to know about the Field Museum, going back to almost like that asylum.
Right.
There you go.
It was my photo reel.
Well, Barnum, let me give you a history on Chicago. Barnum made the Great Expedition in Chicago, and that's a cool camera that Jay has.
It's not a camera.
Not
it's
a camera.
It flips. It actually has
picturamic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Picturamic of the expedition.
Original. Don't tell my wife I got all kind of shit.
Yeah, we won't show her this.
We won't tell.
And look at in 1800s. Was it 1800s? The Great Expedition that was built. Look at the size of the windows, the door. Is that made for a 6-foot person?
Well, let me just go one thing further. I know you're going to say, was that made for a 6-foot person? These were supposed to be temporary. Temporary. Yes, these were supposed to be temporary. If you look into almost all the documentations of these World's Fairs, they all list temporary. They can't build them. I'm sorry, they can't build all these buildings. And it's built because guess what? It's still here today. We're knocking down sticks and stuff and drywall, and this shit's still here.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, Chicago may be nefarious, but I love my beautiful skyline there. Anyway, if you take away all those air conditioning vents up on the roof and all that, Chicago being very cold, if someone made that building back then, how is it supposed to be heated?
Right.
So
not one fireplace in there.
Not one fireplace in there.
It has a very Tartarian feel to it.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they're using it for now does not give me a good feeling, but let's just see what Spirit says about that.
Okay, when you do that, man-made is also Tartarian? Or is
no, that's totally with off-worlders. That's like Anunnaki stuff right there.
I have a very specific question when you're done pulling, Jen.
Okay. Wow. Kind of along the same lines of the same energy. The intention behind the structure and the way it's outlaid, like the actual blueprints of it, are supposed to be positive because of the sun card. Let me click back over here. Because of the sun card, it absolutely represents positivity. I mean, as far as the design of the building is supposed to bring happiness, good frequency, because the Ace of Pentacles, these people are gifted. If you think that a modern day person, architect, created that, think again. Because I in the back of my mind, in spirit, when I was asking, I said the off-worlders designed this. Yes. This is old school Tartarian. This is absolutely did not come from a human brain as far as the design goes. Now, in the past card, the Four of Wands is a partnership. That's a celebration, coming together, new home, new design, new job, those kind of things. That's a partnership. So those designs were given to mankind to benefit mankind, to benefit humanity. Was it used for that purpose? No. The current situation is moving out of troubled waters, meaning the truth is going to come out about the true design because it has to do with, these buildings they're actually designed to hold free energy. The windows, the designs and stuff, if you go into old Tartaria and those kind of things, they're actually designed to have electricity and everything for free, no wires attached, like old school.
I think they call that Antiquitech.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the lower half of the reading is people are going to hold on that, nope, some dude made it. That's holding on to those old beliefs. There's
Some architect that used to be he worked at a patent office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People that find balance in this is about balancing out the timing. I'm not trying to sound nasty and ugly when it comes to modern day man and their brain. We ain't that smart. Sorry, we're just not. We're in a 3-dimensional world here, and we ain't that brilliant. This is an off-world concept of a higher thought process. This is beyond 3D. Okay. We can't come up with this. I can ask my question. And then once the truth comes out, you'll be very disappointed to realize that it's not some dude that just created it. Yeah, go ahead, Rocco.
Okay. Was this built, or, as you said, in partnership, was this manifested into existence?
Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Well, you know how they can manipulate the matrix, so it may look in the matrix like they're building brick by brick, did it just?
I got a little thing to ask about manifestation.
Okay.
Well, here, while you're pulling, Jen, this is the thing that I question. So I'm looking for pictures to Google to add on your show. And I'm feeling, okay, this is not the way they're saying it is, but yet they have cranes and everything like this showing that they're building.
Props.
It's props, it's CGI, it's the matrix, it's that thought process.
So now somebody of different thought process says that and says, can you prove what you're saying? Because this is my proof.
If I'm holding a broom and not moving it, what does it look like I'm doing?
Well, then we have to just come down to realize that I don't have to prove anything to you.
Yeah. The old union guys used to call that hiding in plain sight. They're waiting. They're going to sweep, but.
Oh, I thought you were going to fly, Jay.
Maybe. Curious to see what getting this. I don't know why I got manifested, because when she said partnership, it was bang, bang, bang.
Well, it was absolutely manifested.
Wow, nice. It's so beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, the secrets behind it about truth, because these are swords. Remember, it's all about secrets. It's moving away from that thought process. That's what we're trying to realize, that it's not about cranes and cement trucks and that kind of, it's not about that. You're moving away from that thought process and realizing there are many more secrets behind it. Well, here's your past. That was manifested a long time ago. That's the baby page. That's manifesting something that's coming. That's absolute proof that it was manifested.
My guides rock. That's all I can say.
The judgment is being called to see. Look here, not there. Look here,
excuse
not
me one
there.
second. Just got bombed. Pardon me.
That's okay. Those doggies are at it again.
Ben, are you okay on time?
Yeah, I'm okay. We've got an hour. We'll do this one, maybe one more, and then we'll do some oracles. But I know this is going to be a multi-series.
Yeah. So anybody, if they're interested in anything, they could put it in the chat and we can look into it. Yeah. I know they wanted crop circles, so maybe. I don't have those up today, but yeah, I do want to get into crop circle. That may be a whole separate show, but as far as judgment, it's a call to movement.
So it's to get your attention. So if it's being manifested spiritually and it happens in a different dimension, the 3D sheep just see cranes and cement, like the trucks and construction work. That's all they see.
Yeah.
That's full matrix. Yeah. It took a great leader. This is the Emperor card. Great leaders. The Emperor and the Empress are sitting next side by side. Divine feminine and divine masculine working together. I know we have a difference of opinion on if there's a division. No, they're equal. They just balance each other out. We don't always see it, but they work together as a leadership. That's the partnership. And they manifest these things. And I said, was it manifested? And there's the Ace of Wands. Having the heart and desire to do it. Yeah, that's a new beginning, a new thought process.
But that manifestation, to me, it doesn't feel like it was good people doing it.
No.
Good people did not manifest it, or good people?
Well, remember, these two cards represent leaders.
Right.
Now, I don't get anything negative, but I haven't pulled confirmation, but I can ask just simply, were they positive or negative?
Yeah. On certain ones, it just, okay, poof, here it is. But again,
do you think they
wasn't what it seemed in many respects?
Here's your confirmation.
It was off-worlder.
Off-worlder, but the negative, because greedy ass bastards that can make money off of it to wear down humanity.
Yeah,
that's to wear down humanity.
So the intention was good, but yet the off-worlders build it for negativity?
Well, just look at religion. It's outwardly, it looks good.
So bad off-worlders, are you saying?
Yeah, the Dracos, the ones that control the cabal, basically.
So is that why there's still nefarious stuff happening there?
Yeah, that's why when we talked about it the other day, privately, I said, that's on the water. I guarantee you there's a submarine docking, and that's where they do trafficking.
Yeah, that's why I wanted Navy Pier. That was my next question, because it's like 3,000 feet off the shore, and it just didn't make sense to me how they built it.
Well, let's see if we can pull that one up.
Oh, and did I tell you I do know where they came up with the name Jesus Christ?
No,
I'm convinced of this. It's I mean, just like a light bulb goes off in your head. When my dogs crush me like that, I go, Jesus Christ. It's like, oh. So I'm just saying, I mean, it's not earth shattering.
I said that a long time ago, and I was terrified it was blasphemy. But
no, you're allowed to kid.
That's funny. It was on a different timeline. They heard it, and they said that's what we should do.
Yeah.
All right. So this, Nadia, you want to explain what we're looking at here?
All right. This is also supposedly built by Barnum, or designed by Barnum. It's 3,000 some feet out into the pier, into the water, supposedly to get fresh water. They had trolleys and built really, really under this Lake Michigan. So it they called it Navy's Pier because they used it for the Navy at some training point. And in the history also, it was taken by University of Chicago, hence the name Prickster. So I'm feeling that was negatively made.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's take a look.
I can actually see a face in that. I can see a face in that.
With a mustache?
Yes. Well, that's up top, but also that's the first. There's actually two. If you look down lower, the two pillars, that looks like off-world eyes.
Looking up.
Mouth, and then something. ET-ish.
Wow. I see like a Pringles, like a mustache on the.
Yeah, I see that above that. Where I'm
I see
below
that
it a little bit. That's definitely a face, but there's another one down below it. Mm-hmm. It's like an ET face. The eyes are over here. It's almost tortoisey shaped. Where it says Navy
Pier,
that's the mouth, but it's looking up.
Yeah, I see it.
It's looking up.
Okay,
that's how you'd see it.
I see it.
Tortoisey reptilian, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, reptiles do move their eyes in many directions.
Hey.
Hmm.
Really, we're going to do this now? Yeah, at least I shouldn't complain. I don't have matchboxes going swimming.
But you should take matches in their room because that will kill the smell.
I don't think it's possible with these two. I really don't.
Well,
It's just something.
this answer is, I kind of expected this to happen at least once today.
Well, they don't want us to know.
Don't worry about it. Just know that it's fixed.
Okay.
Because I get the feeling that it's really bad.
Yeah.
And they don't want us to focus on it because it was the hope and desire. Let me change this out. Hope and desire of a great leader and making a wish that we need to take this back. Okay. And because I asked, I said, is this positive? Well, I got the Ace of Swords, and that's in the past. We took this back because of those two cards sitting there. Yep. It sat in limbo for a really long time, letting us know that it was not good for a long time. But now it's been taken over by the light. And I realized that because I have these warriors.
Wow, nice.
Mm-hmm.
These are white hat cards that said we had to go in and fight like hell to get it back.
And I know I may sound like a broken record at some time, but for some reason, I feel that area is connected with Atlantean.
Well, we have the King of Cups. Yes, this is about water. It has to do with the water and the location. So they had to close it off and set boundaries. This is very, very real to the Atlantean story. They had to close. That's why they don't really want to talk about it, because there's more to it than just cabal trafficking. I think it has to do with Atlantean energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's hard to combine it into one question. I would have to break it down, but I'm pulling. Wow. Okay. They said don't worry about it. The King and Queen of Pentacles manifesting and making sure this is about families. It's good. It's positive. And the Sun card.
Nice.
But when this also comes in, it can represent the littles. Don't worry about the littles anymore. They're okay. Because mom and dad kind of attitude.
Nice.
Family that it's been cleaned up. But I get the download that I'm getting. I see children, but I see the Atlantean stuff. When that King of Cups came in there, that's an Atlantean card. And now I'm just using Rider Waite today, so I have to rely on what they're telling me. But they said, yeah, there's more to it than that. And
how's your time, Jen? Didn't you have to do something earlier?
It's an hour and 10 minutes. Israel's already off in her Uber, so she's already at the doctor. I did that nonchalantly.
Okay.
But, let's finish out this one. We may have time to do one more. I do want to do oracles, but like I said, I'm not in a big hurry. I don't want to rush these.
No, I think just the conversation sparking it, maybe even a rehash of what we did. And
yep.
I mean, just trying to make people think.
And I'm going to reiterate what Nadia said. If you guys have a location around the world or something that maybe is in your area that you question, put it in the comments. I will go back later and I'll make notes. Put it in the chat room and I will add it to the list. I don't care if this is a series and we do it every Wednesday. It doesn't matter to me. It's based on what you guys do and what you want to. If you want to continue it, I just like the roundtable and getting not just my opinion. I like that you guys are coming in here and giving your 2 cents because it makes you think. That's what we do as a collective, and that's what we're here for.
Okay, so then let's go back to Navy Pier. Was that originally there, or did they build it?
Interesting. Okay. Navy Pier. So we want to know man-made?
Yes.
Or as far as we know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Deb's got the Parthenon in Nashville. I'll write that down.
That would be good.
Okay. I'm getting entrance. There's not many exits though. So it's like I don't want to call it a portal, but it's an entrance of something.
Very well could be, because you've only got one side that's on Gaia and the rest is in the water.
It's buried. It's buried.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was feeling. So they're bringing it in to send it out, energy.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I'm getting a download that the Ferris wheel is clockwise. It's like almost like a bringing it in to send it out.
Yes. Yes, like not much leaves. It's
No, Chicago
yeah.
is.
Well, I mean, put it this way: when you go in, there's not much coming out as far as what it was meant for. It's an entrance,
right,
to somewhere. It's buried. That's all I keep getting.
Okay, so man-made, Ace of Swords. Yes,
it is. Okay,
it is man-made. Now that doesn't mean that it doesn't serve a higher purpose, because there's a lot of nasty people.
Ask, is it connecting to something?
Is it connected to something else?
Yeah, it connects to complete and utter death.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So when you were talking about a portal, Jay, this is the card that came up, and that's the secret behind it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see it because it's like, that's what I was saying, and I don't want to know if I call it that because
It looks like a happy place.
but there's
above it is.
Put it this way: there's a disguise about it that I can feel it.
That's that.
That's what I'm saying. There's a disguise about it, and it's
it
hard
leads to this.
to see it. Okay, that's what I was kind of questioning.
Well, here's in the past, it was created just for the littles.
Oh, wow.
Well, that expedition that was done was especially. I hate to say her first title, but Elizabeth came for that expedition.
Yeah.
We may have to hit the orphan trains at some point too.
The orphan train?
The orphan trains.
Yeah, absolutely. The outcome of that reading is that justice has been served. So, meaning it's been cleaned up. Just as the people that created it, because you were asking if it was man-made. Yeah, but justice has been served. It was just, the babies are okay now, but the truth will be drop out about what it was being used for. Now, for the people that can handle it, because to everybody else it's going to be conspiracy theory if they ever hear about it at all. But this is about opening. This is the portal card, remember. A Two of Wands is always a portal card, a different realm. It depends on how you look at Gaia and what she stands for to you. Because Wands are about passion and desire, and that's a fire sign. The truth will be opened up, but that is a portal card. So yeah, if you're prepared for the truth, you will hear the truth.
So basically, it was a portal.
Yes.
And like I said, I couldn't feel it because it still feels disguised. Yeah, that's why I said
it's
buried.
A secret.
It's still disguised. Yeah,
it's very secretive. But yeah, all of that led to death of the littles.
It's terrible.
It's kind of one of those things that like burns a hole in your gut once you hear it and you get confirmation. You're like, ugh. But we try to control that as much as we can. But at least as far as Spirit's telling us now, it's been cleaned up and justice has been served.
Well, this is going to sound off the subject, but we talked about the crystal skull and Atlantean energy there. Were they using that energy as energy for the portal?
Well, leading up to that, I also want to understand that as far as the crystal skulls, because aren't there 13 of them? And that's still a iffy subject. But as far as I understand, the research project behind the crystal skulls is actually founded in Chicago.
Well, also, I think we mentioned before Dan Aykroyd, who was a comedian of Second City.
Yes.
Made a vodka with a crystal skull shape.
Yep. It is a very common thing.
Almost like mockery.
And he's from Chicago, is he not?
Yeah, almost like a mockery.
Okay. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, Shannon says 13. Yeah, you get down these rabbit holes and you sometimes you hit a dead end, and then sometimes it opens up into this cavern of possibilities.
Well, that's why I'm feeling the reason why Jay was getting the disguise was they're using that energy so it doesn't look nefarious.
Well, why do you think there's a Ferris wheel there? I mean, make it look fun, happy for family.
It's also clockwise energy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we want to know, could it be a hub or a purpose for the crystal skulls? Wow. Jesus.
Sorry, guys, if I'm going too far down the rabbit hole.
No, it's fine. These same cards keep coming back up. They're just in a different position. Yeah, they're still trying to be very protective of us because it gets really deep.
Yeah.
But yes, major arcana with the emperor. Yes. The leaders of that, I guess you can call it a cult, you can call it a coven, you can call it whatever, that were working on that. A great leader was working on it. But now this represents don't have anxiety and don't worry about it. But it also represents the way it's aspected in this reading is they had a long way to go before they ever found the answers. And because they were dark, they were never going to figure out the secrets. I don't believe the creator would have ever let them do it.
Okay.
Now, in the past, there's something that has to do, because this card came up in the last reading in the same exact position. They needed the mystery or the truth behind the 13 skulls to ultimately go after the littles, to manifest something that had to do with the littles.
Wow.
Now, this was, I believe that there's, I don't care what you call it, you can, like I said, a cult or whatever you want to call it, but this is a group effort. That's a contract that's coming together, a partnership that they were working on.
Nefarious. We could say nefarious.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the death card. That was their ultimate goal, to create the most destruction possible. Yeah, absolutely. But the advice is don't worry about it. Well, they were always trying to distract us. Look here, not there. It's pretty. It's a happy place. Don't worry about it. No, there's a lot of crap going on. Now you're being called to the real truth because you're using your discernment. The veil is being thinned out for us to understand that, because these are advice cards. Keep digging, keep looking. As far as the skulls go, there's more to it than that. But the sad part about it is it has to do with the littles.
I see the product of the littles.
I know. Yeah. Which is so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your base card on that was the Ace of Cups. Yeah. And this is also kind of a warning, because I just said this is keeping your emotions in check, because if you really knew the full truth, you talk about somebody losing their shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that we cannot know, because we, in a three-dimensional world, like when we look at our littles and the ones that we love, there's nothing that's going to set off the when we mess with our babies.
And that is why that won't come until we're up to the
because then
love.
That ego goes away.
Yeah.
And it keeps your emotions in check. Right now, we actually have to work towards keeping our ego and our emotions in check. And it's harder to do in a 3D.
Yeah, but once you start doing the moving up the frequency of unconditional love and joy and enlightenment, then you see it for what it is. And, acceptance, almost
to
like
a point, and then there's me.
Yeah. What?
And then there's me. I don't give a shit what you tell me. I'm still pissed off. So
there you go. There you go, in check.
I know. I'm still working on keeping myself in check. I'm a work in progress. What can I say?
Exactly.
I'm a work in
Nadia, I just saw that private chat. Sorry, I Techno Zero, no would be the answer to the question that you said. Like, no.
I didn't either.
I'm lucky I saw that. So
not today. Not today. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Really good at certain things, but
well, I was stuck on that private chat. I'm
stuff
like,
in
how
front
am
of
I
my
going to
face,
do
like Captain Obvious. No, missed it.
No problem, guys.
Not on my forehead, right? Okay.
Let me check, Jay.
Not today. That's a whole other different subject. We'll get into that a different day.
Jay, I'm going to try to start Braille.
Yeah, Rocco's forehead is now a billboard. I'm going to rent space.
Put this on there.
Yeah, both of these matter. All right, guys. We've gone almost an hour and a half. I do want to allow enough time for Oracle cards, if that's okay with you guys. You can stay on or you can bow out. I would like to continue this discussion on a different day.
Oh, for sure. And more so. I will bow out because the wife has me helping her plant a tree.
Well, let me
definitely. Listen, I know what's good. Don't worry.
That's right.
You don't poke the bear.
Exactly.
I want to introduce my Schneider because thank you guys for all the prayers.
Schneider.
This is Schneider.
Hi, Schneider boy.
Yeah, I'm not introducing you to the fart bags.
Yeah, thank you all for the prayers you gave for him.
We took the little big head to the vet yesterday. That was a small mortgage payment.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
It was how much? Okay.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. It's like it didn't just take my breath away. I was looking for a place to get blood. Do you take blood?
Rocco's going to start selling his plasma.
Exactly.
Pay for the doggies.
But anyway, thank you for this. I'll go ahead and bow out, and I'll check out those oracles after. Thank you so much for having me.
It was fun.
Wonderful. I love you
guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Just to wrap it up, we got through 2 or 3 today, and I know we could keep going and going. It's, things that make you go home. You always want to know more, but this won't be our last because there's lots of places around the world that we want to question. If you have one, leave it in the comment. If it's not in the chat room, leave it in the comment later. Real quick, let's go through your oracles and see what Spirit is advising us today. Okay, so we will start with Angel of Abundance. Detox your friendships. Uh-oh. You're going to have to get nasty and ugly with somebody and say bye. But it says your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. Yeah. You're going to really be in tune with who is there in the collective in your family. It could be a biological family. It could be here in the collective. If it doesn't sit right with you and it's not resonating, bye-bye. It's okay to do that. Okay. You got to base things on energy. All right. Who's our archangel today? Archangel Charity. I think we've had this one before. She's beautiful. It just says, give with an open heart and be generous. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to read the book because I don't think we need to. We've done that before. You know what charity is? Generosity. It could be about spirituality, emotional stability. It can be financial if you want it to be, but just be generous with just your time in general is charity. Okay. Lend somebody an ear, lend them a shoulder, something, but be charitable with those that you love. Okay. All right. Your final chakra oracles today, confusion. Well, that matches because if we confused you in any way today, please understand that that's totally normal. Go within, use your discernment, and question everything. And if you still feel you feel confused, reach out to us, ask us questions, meditate on it, pray on it. Let Spirit give you the right answer. And if it doesn't sit right, it's okay. Don't watch it. It's no big deal. Don't let confusion take over. Now, facade. Emotionally and spiritually, are you putting on a facade to everyone else that you've got it all together? I got my shit together. I'm fine. And deep down, you are falling apart. Don't be fake. Be truthful to yourself. But also pay attention if someone's being a facade to you. If someone's being fake to you, use your discernment to call them out. No, I call bullshit. Use your bullshit meter. Okay? Your final card on that is passion. Go within, meditate, and pray on what your true passion is and go with it. Don't wait for somebody to give you permission to go and follow your passion. What do you feel in your heart, in your gut that you want to pursue? And do it. Okay? All right. That's your oracles for today. Thank you all for joining me. It's a great roundtable. Like I said, we will do a part 2 and 3 and 12, whatever it takes. Y'all go have a blessed day. I got a baby at the doctor. Got to go make sure they get back home. I love y'all. And I will see you Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, love and light and some shh. Y'all have a blessed day. Love you.